Bob Maloney from MyMMAnews.com. And tonight I am talking to Devon Estes. Devon, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Devon is making her professional debut coming up at Ring of Combat 75 on Friday night, February 18th in Atlantic City at the Tropicana Casino Hotel. And I'll be there cage side covering it. And listen, Devon, you and I, we go back to your amateur debut, 2013. Yep. I was cage side for your first two fights, almost 10 years ago. So, and now I'm going to be there for your pro debut. You know, it's been such a listen, I admire you so much, but I know that you've been wanting to do this for a while. Last time you were in there was 2019. You know, you had babies and life got in the way, but now you're getting some time for yourself. How you feeling? I know you've been waiting so long for this.
Yeah, this is like 2-3 years in the making. So I'm so excited for this. I was ready 2 years ago, so I'm ready now. I'm definitely ready. I'm more ready now.
All right. Well, for the people that don't know, you were just watching this. Tell them a little bit about, you know, where you're training, you know, who you're training with, getting you ready for this fight. We know, listen, Devon, her partner in life is Steve McCabe. He's a former professional fighter. I guess he's retired or semi-retired. Steve had a lot of pro fights. And, you know, I always see these two with the fights working corners for the fighters from 302 BJJ. And Devon, listen, even though Devon hasn't fought that long in a long time, she's been involved in the game every day. So talk to me about your daily life right now.
Yeah, my daily life is like madness. You know, I work during the day. I got the 3 kids, and then train 5 nights a week. My main coach is Steven. So I work almost everything with him. And then I have Larry Edwards and Earl Small, who are my jiu-jitsu coaches. Larry's been taking some time too, off to the side to help me do some, you know, different get-ups and things like that. Trub's been working, you know, helping push me through my practices. I also have Brandon Davis, who has helped me a lot on my wrestling, you know, always gives me little tidbits here and there in our MMA classes. But yeah, you know, me and Steve do our thing. Like I do all my pad work, all my cage work, ground work, ground and pound, all that, all the knowledge I get. And the whole full circle of that is from Steve.
Well, you're talking about the physical part now, but let's face it, you've been in the sport for a long time. Anybody that you fight, you've probably been in the sport a lot longer than them. We're talking, you know, 10 years. You're such a student of the game. Talk to me. Do you like working corners? Because obviously I know you're so involved in the mental part of the game. Is that something that you love to do?
I actually, one of the things I like to tell my students while I'm teaching, and it goes the same with cornering, is I think people underestimate how much you actually learn by holding pads and by cornering people, because, you know, when you do those things, when you're holding pads or you're cornering, you're learning the entire time. You know, you're seeing what works, what doesn't. I'm listening to the other corners that are there with me. Yeah, I learned from them. And the more I learn by watching, the easier it is for me to do as well. So it kind of, you know, comes full circle. I learn the things and then I corner and I help the fighters. But at the same time, I learn new things while cornering and teaching as well. So I like cornering. I don't mind, you know, plus I get to be extra close to watch fights. So that's good.
Hey, listen, I know the feeling. I'm spoiled that way, believe me. And like I said, this is going to be a great card. Talking about this card, the funny thing, Devon, as I was scrolling through your Facebook page to see what photos I was going to use for this piece, and I downloaded two photos. It was you versus Lauren Bracci at Ring of Combat. Here we go. Almost 2 years ago, you were supposed to make your pro debut against her, and I saw the poster. I'm like, why is there 2 different posters? And then I saw the new one. So tell me a little bit about your opponent. Listen, I was there for her pro debut. She looked tough in the beginning, but she wound up getting caught and she lost. And talk to me about how you're looking at this fight.
So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Lauren. I know this is like off topic, but I've heard she's a super nice girl. You know, for our last fight, there was something wrong with her eyes 2 weeks before our fight, and she was super respectful. You know, she messaged me like, "Hey, my bad. Like, this wasn't my fault. You know, hopefully we'll get to do this again." So I respect that a lot. I have no ill will, bad feelings for her. Not that I ever need that to fight anyway. You know, your skills will talk for you, but I don't know a whole lot about her. I know she's a brown belt. I saw that. And I know she has probably about the same amount of experience as I do. We've been fighting and training, I think, the same amount of time. So that's really all I know. And but that's what Steve and I do. We work every aspect. We work stand up, wrestling defense, cage, ground and pound, jujitsu. So I'm not I'm not worried wherever it goes. I'm ready. I'm going to make every position as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, listen, hey, you're an inspiration watching you when you were pregnant at the gym working out until you at the last possible moment. So believe me, everybody should follow Devon because she is an inspiration and she is a fire plug. She's a great mom. She's just awesome in the community. Listen, Devon, let me just thank you because what you and Steve have contributed to the MMA community, and Philly MMA is hot right now. And, Steve fighting for a long time and you two have made a nice contribution. And let me say thank you to both of you. It's been a pleasure that, since I've been in the sport and covering it, you two have been involved as well. And it's been an honor. And I love both of you guys. Seriously, you're great people, great family. And it's always nice to talk to you. And I'm happy for you making your pro debut. Give some shout outs or some love before we go, Devon. I know, like I said, for pro debut, it's time.
Yeah, so it's definitely time. This has been a pretty rough camp. I did have to start it 12 weeks out instead of 6 because I had a lot of baby weight. This was a rough road to get here, to be honest. We're more than ready. I'm not saying that we are ready. But I want to give a huge shout out, of course, to Steven as always, because not only does he help me inside the gym, but he's also here for the entire mental breakdowns that I have every time after I leave the gym as well, or if something's not going well in my camp. And he's just literally the greatest support system I've ever had, and I'm so grateful for everything that he's given me in this sport, everything that he's taught me and continues to teach me and learn for me, and just all the help he gives me with the girl. I know he's dad and he's supposed to help me, but he really, makes sure that during my camps that the girls are well taken care of. So huge thank you to him. I love him. I love you. And then to the rest of my team, my team are just as responsible for a victory as I am. They put in just as much work as I do. They come in, they push me, make sure I'm getting my rounds. I have some of my teammates that will actually stop sparring to pick up my daughter, my infant, while she's crying so that I can continue my rounds. I literally have an army behind me that help me with the kids, which allows me to fight and have fight camps and train. And so I want to thank my whole team more than I can even say. My coaches, Larry Edwards, for taking extra time with me, Earl Small, who's always helping me, pushing me, strength and conditioning, pushing me in my MMA classes, just giving me nice little whispers in my ear to keep me confident. Eddie Hall, my strength and conditioning coach. I think I've touched everybody, and my family. Again, my family is another huge contribution to me being able to do this with 3 small children. So I'm just forever grateful to all the people that surround me. I really am. I love each and every one of them.
Devon, it was a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to seeing you and the 302 family at the fights. And as always, it's a pleasure. Great to see you. And best of skills and best of luck on the 18th.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you.